Welcome to thefoundation.com. Would you believe I recorded this entire show and the video didn't work? So we're going to do it again. How to start a private bank. The wealthy keep getting wealthier. The rich get richer. We don't understand why. Most of us have no clue. We think they're cheating, things of that nature. They just know things that we don't. So I'm going to get into that today. I'm going to go in. I'm not going to take too long. This is going to be a short episode, but I would like you to pay attention. You know, don't sleep on this show, please. I'm going to drop some serious knowledge. We do have the Foundation magazine. We are currently in cybersecurity. We have a print edition. We have a physical edition. Link in the description. Also, check out WelcomeToTheFoundation.com. Please sign up for the email list. We're doing a dance, and you can join us. It's luxurious. The fans are on. It's cool in here. Ain't nobody hot. It's magnificent. We look forward to seeing you here. We have I would say the most cogent and whole. I would say whole. Complete is a better word. Cogent and complete trustee training I've ever seen. This is the training that I wish I found when I was coming into this information. Business trust, asset trust, family trust, proper private fiduciary administration. Link in the description. And you will definitely see why. We also have our private side of Welcome to the Foundation. Invite only. If you would like an invite, please email me admin@welcometothefoundation.com. And last but not least, if you'd like to start a business, we have an extensive course here at the Foundation. Link in the description. And you will be on your way to start your business. So let's jump in here. How to start a private bank. As I said, did this before and it didn't work. I went through the whole presentation and it didn't change the page. It was on the same page. You couldn't see anything. I apologize. But y'all didn't know. But how do you start a private bank? My name is Sot L, Seeker of Truth L, and that's what I do. I don't care how it feels. I just want to know the truth. I really don't. And I found that that's very rare these days. You know, most people want to hear what sounds good and feels good and makes them feel all warm and fuzzy inside. Me personally, I want the truth. Unadulterated, pure, angry, evil truth. Give it to me. And my mentality, my character in that nature has allowed me to learn a lot of things. And among those things that I've learned is private family banking, which is I'm going to share with you. And not only am I going to share it conceptually, I'm going to break it down to how do you do it. As I said, this isn't going to be long, so stick with me. Let's jump into this. So step one. There it is. To create a private bank, you must have a private trust, period. You're not going to use a public structure to have a private bank. How does that make sense? And people will say, well, there's a lot of private banks. And I will say that I don't think you are correct when you're saying private banks if you're talking about any private bank that's in the public. I think what you're thinking of is privately held banks, privately held public banks. That's not what we're talking about. We are talking about actual private banks. So step one, you must create a private trust. A private trust is a contract. It is. It is a contract cast in trust form. They are generally not created by attorneys, and they generally do not fall under state statutory law. This is the biggest part of it. Ultimately, what does that mean? Sot. That means they don't file state returns. Now, you must properly administer them. No self-dealing, no commingling. You must have adverse trustees. There's a lot of stuff. That's why private trust administration is important. I personally have met a lot of people who all they want is a trust contract. Oops. That's like someone saying all I want is the car, but I don't want to learn how to drive, and you will kill someone and yourself messing around with that stuff. Be careful. So understanding what this is important. Private trust. You need a private contract trust. Benefits of a private trust. The family controls the trust. Oops, typo. The family controls of the trust. That was an accident. I'm human. I apologize. The family controls the trust, not the state, Not the federal government, not the courts. It's the family. 100%. Exceptional. Private trusts offer exceptional levels of privacy. There's an exceptional level of privacy given. Private contract trusts, their books are not subject to public scrutiny. Public scrutiny, state, IRS, federal government, doesn't matter. Their books are not subject to public scrutiny. Liability protection is supplied. Trusts are legal, distinct, separate entities when properly administered, which means they file their own tax returns, they can own their own property, they can sue and be sued, which means if all of your property, which isn't yours anymore, if all of your property was placed into trust, you don't own anything. So all of that property is liability protected if for any personal mishaps or situations you may become entangled in. If you understand what I'm saying, trusts can be established in states with tax advantages specific to trusts, such as no income or capital gains taxes. Remember, they're not governed by the state. They're not governed by the state. That's huge. Private trusts have exemption from investment advisor registration with the Securities and Exchange Commission. A lot of private investments happen every day. And they're done through private trusts. And because the trusts are private and they're not created, nor are they governed by any state legislative or statutory entity, their operation is much more, how do I say this? Powerful. I just say powerful because, let's say you are a trustee of a private trust. You're looking to raise funds for an investment. Maybe the trust owns land that hasn't been improved. You want to raise funds of $1 million so that you can put an apartment building on the property. You solicit investors for, this specific purpose. They invest the money into the trust. They offer a check or what have you. They receive trust capital units in return. Those trust capital units do not have to be registered with the SEC. Period. This happens all the time. You don't hear about it. You don't know about it. Doesn't mean it doesn't happen. Private trusts also provide more management flexibility for the investment of assets. There are things that private trusts can do that, statutorily, state trusts, legislative trusts, they cannot do. Cannot. It just is the way it is. It happens. Step 2, obtain a trust EIN. It's easy. So you got the trust. Now you need the EIN. You can easily obtain a trust EIN at irs.gov. You will need an EIN for the next step. irs.gov, you can get the EIN online. You can tap the little option that says receive the EIN online. They give you a PDF in a web browser. You just save the PDF, print it off, print as many as you want. Hide them in different places so you always have one. It's very easy to do. irs.gov, you just, apply for an EIN, type that in the search bar. It'll come up. You can do it online. The EIN is coupled with the trust indenture. Okay? Y'all listening? Which is very similar to the EIN coupled with state LLC or corporation organization documents. Okay? So private trust has the trust indenture and the EIN. Corporation has the articles of incorporation and the EIN. LLC has the articles of organization and the EIN. These are all needed to open a bank account, right? Bonus, the individual has a birth certificate and a social security number that has the same number of digits as an EIN. It just has an extra dash. The trick was they required you to use the birth certificate and a social security card to go get the driver's license. And then they asked for the driver's license, which essentially they're asking for your governing instrument and your EIN. But, that's a different show. You can print the EIN immediately from your computer. That's a beautiful thing. Step 3, establish a trust checking account. This is important. All national and most regional banks support trust accounts. All of them. All of them. So this is something to keep in mind. If you are not sure, just call ahead and ask. I call and say, hey, I'm looking to open a trust checking account. Who do I speak to about that? I like to frame the question in that manner because I give them the subject, trust checking accounts, and then I ask them specifically, who do I speak to? So unless they are the person to speak to, they're going to think in their mind, okay, who does the trust accounts? I save time. This is my experience. I save time doing that. Typically, you may have to make an appointment. You can ask them if you can walk in. You're going to need your trust indenture, typically an abstract or a short form. You don't want to give them the whole one. And the EIN to open the trust checking account. Wells Fargo, Chase, U.S. Bank, Citigroup, Morgan Stanley are all familiar with trust checking accounts. I like national banks. If you travel, if there's an issue and you're out of state, if the trust checking account is at the national bank, 9 times out of 10, wherever you are, you can find a local branch. That's convenient. If you're not too big into traveling, maybe that's not a big deal. Bonus, if you establish the account at an institution you do not have a personal account with. Helps avoid the allegations of co-mingling. For example, you go to deposit a check in the trust checking account at the bank, but you have a personal checking account at that bank. And the teller had a long day. They're tired. Their cat died the night before. They're not paying attention. They're trying to do you a favor. And instead of depositing the check in the trust checking account, they put it into your personal account. Ooh, that looks like co-mingling. Ooh-wee. That looks like some serious co-mingling. Should be careful of that. Bonus, if you establish the account at an institution you do not have a personal account. What we got? Ooh. Step 3 and step 4 are the same, aren't they? Okay. Step 5 is step 4. Establish minimum 1 life insurance policy. Premium payments never increase. These are the benefits. Fixed benefits for beneficiaries of the trust estate. Now, part of the reason why the rich get richer is this thing right here. So, beneficiaries of life insurance policies in the private are rarely ever the heirs. Like, your child's name or something. Rarely ever. I like to step on toes. You call me pancake. I like to pancake toes. So what I'm about to say right now is going to be something probably that, people just don't freely give up, right? But the beneficiary of the life insurance policy at the death of the insured, the beneficiary is the family trust, y'all. Think about it. If you have multiple beneficiaries of anything, a 401k, life insurance, whatever, right? And they're individuals. Each individual is going to get their split portion, and each individual has just received a taxable event. Why own the money and pay the taxes on it when they can just control it? And the beneficiary being the family trust, the successors, trustees, simply take over the account, the checking account, all of the accounts, and they administer the trust. This is how the rich get richer. I just think about that. Rewind that if you didn't catch it. Life insurance is a big deal when it comes to rich getting richer. The cash value accumulates on a tax-deferred basis. This is, of course, whole life insurance, WHOLE. They have the ability to borrow against the cash value of the policy. This is the biggest part, or one of the biggest parts. When it comes to life insurance, me specifically, I'm looking for cash value. I'm looking for death benefit. That's it. Also, terminal illness riders. If I develop a terminal illness, I don't want to financially burden my family. Families are bankrupted all the time due to what do they call them? Medical bills and all that dance. So a terminal illness rider means that I can draw down against the death benefit for my health care of the life insurance policy. As I said, that way, I don't have to burden any of the family. This protects the wealth of the family because, if I'm a father, I know I'm a father. My children will do anything to, I know they would. So I'm not going to put them in that position. You understand what I'm saying? Annual dividends, of course, if it's purchased through a mutual fund company, Um, the life insurance policy, the cash value, receives annual dividends. So not only does it receive annual dividends, you can generate investments through loans and things of that nature. Step 6, title all appropriate unencumbered property. So personal property, real estate, precious metals, unimproved land, any dividend paying instrument. But you should consult your attorney, because anytime you have like stocks or bonds or anything in your personal name and you're going to put it into a trust name, there's typically going to be some sort of tax implication there. I'm not a tax attorney. I don't do taxes. I don't know. But I do. I'm pretty sure about that. I can't give legal advice, though, so I'm not an attorney. So anything unencumbered, no loans, no mortgages. So cars, real estate, land, precious metals, of course, and any instruments that you can get in there without any, serious tax implications. This would be, banks, you can private bank, you can collateralize assets if necessary. Now, if you ever need to collateralize assets on behalf of the trust, you want to make sure that your business plan is in order, tip top. And, if you're going to collateralize any assets to get funds, those funds need to go to a business to pay back the collateralization of the assets. If not, I don't know what you're doing. You're tripping. You need to stop. Benefits of a private bank. Brokerage accounts. Did I do brokerage accounts? Trust checking, brokerage accounts. I missed this. Step 4, my bad. Establish a trust brokerage account. All national and most regional brokerages support trust accounts. Once again, if you're not sure, call ahead and ask. Charles Schwab, Fidelity, U.S. Bank, Citigroup, Morgan Stanley, Vanguard Group are all familiar with brokerage accounts. It's a bonus if you can establish an account in an institution that you do not have a personal account at. Brokerage accounts, stocks, T-bills, things of that nature. It's investments. It's another form of investment. A loan is an investment from the standpoint of a family bank, private family bank. Brokerage accounts, investing in stocks and bonds, investing in tangible assets, things of that nature. All of these things are investments. Benefits of a private bank. You can offer finance to family members privately. Imagine not having to go to, a bank or a credit union to get finance. It's not a part of the public record. It's private. You can capture interest that would otherwise escape the family. Meaning, you go to the bank and you get a car loan and you get, 2% interest. I'm being federal, like Federal Reserve-ish. 2% on inflation. You get 2% interest, right? I'm just saying you're not gonna. That's not true. Don't go look for that. You never find it. But so the principal on the car, let's say the car is $30,000 plus 10% interest, right? And that will add, obviously, right? So that 10% of the $30,000, $60,000, whatever, right, is profit to the bank. Now, if the private family bank is offering the loan and the private family bank charges interest on the loan, the interest does not escape the family. It stays within the family. You capture the interest. Think about that. Think about it for a second. Private banks can offer loans to the public at interest. Doesn't have to be a family member. Of course, family members would get better interest rates, of course. But it doesn't have to be a family member. A loan is an investment from the standpoint of a bank. Private banks can finance family businesses. No public funding required. Imagine not having to worry about the trade lines and the business credit and American Express business plan. You just look to the family bank. The business enters into a loan contract with the family bank. If the business has any assets, it collateralizes those assets. The business receives the loan, deploys the capital, and, begins to turn a profit, repays the loan, pays the interest. Now you have a functioning business, and the family bank is even that much more wealthy. Finance family members' education. Imagine that. No student loan debt. Now you see how the rich get richer? They're not dealing with all of the debt that we are because they understand private banking. Another benefit, the bank never dies. Successors merely take over all of the accounts. Successor trustees, you don't have to change the account. It's not to close the account and open a new account. That's not how it works. It's the same account. I've dealt with families who've had a checking account, the same checking account open for 50 years, 60 years, 30 years, 40 years, because the trust never dies. It's an absolute beautiful thing. Imagine privately financing your education, privately financing your businesses, privately financing your car purchases, your homes. Imagine that. When it comes to a home, a property, in order for the family bank to come up with that capital to issue the loan on a property, that's why I suggest, the family bank has assets that it can collateralize. After, a few years, a decade, maybe a generation or so, it won't need to collateralize anything because it will have so much money in the family bank. Also, when financing family businesses, right? And you can check this out, publication 535, the Internal Revenue Service. You can check it out. Just look, publication 535, Internal Revenue Service, IRS publication 535. A loan to a business is not income, so it's not taxable. And the interest that a business pays on a loan it received in repayment is deductible. It's a write-off. 535, publication 535. I hope these things are kind of coming together. I'm going kind of fast because, as I said, I don't want to keep you. But I do want to share this with you. Step on some toes. With that being said, would you like to learn more? We offer trustee training here at the foundation. You can check the link in the description. We have relationships with mutual fund companies with regards to whole life insurance. We suggest you buy the book Becoming Your Own Banker by R. Nelson Nash. You can find that on Amazon, specifically talking about whole life insurance policies and private family banking. And we suggest you buy the book Family Wealth by James E. Hughes Jr. You can find that on Amazon as well. I was watching a documentary. One of the Johnson & Johnson heirs was, I don't know, upset or something. And he invited cameras around with him. I think he went on a golf course. He harassed his grandparents, and then he brought the cameras to a family meeting. Anyways, the gentleman facilitating the family meeting, he had that book Family Wealth in his hands, and that's how I found this book. And a lot of these things you're not going to find on Oprah's book list and things of that nature because they don't teach that stuff. They don't. But there it is. Listen, there it is. You can learn more at WelcomeToTheFoundation.com. You can check the link in the description below to sign up for trustee training. And obviously, with trustee training, you get access to the mutual fund companies. We have a guy who owns a company who does this private family banking with life insurance. That's what he does, and he does he'll do this Excel spreadsheet, and he'll show you how he's paid off over almost $1 million in debt in 3 years using these strategies. And then he'll do a spreadsheet and show you how you're going to pay off all your debt. And it's hard to believe. You won't believe it. No one believes it. I didn't believe it. I just trusted and I did it. And now I believe it. I suggest you don't wait until you believe. Because time is fickle. Time is definitely fickle. You want to start a business? Start a business. Link in the description. Definitely. I appreciate y'all. Sign up for the email list, please. WelcomeToTheFoundation.com. And, of course, here it is. If you're looking to establish your private estate, we have our trustee training here at the foundation. As I said, link in the description. This is it. Like I said, this is what I was looking for. I was looking for this when I came into this information. And it just wasn't available. But it is now. Pancake and toast, Sot L. I appreciate y'all checking out the show. I trust you learned something. You can email me, admin@welcometothefoundation.com, if you have any questions at all. You can sign up for Trustee training with the link in the description. Please leave a comment to tell me what you think, what you learned, what was the most profound thing. And y'all have a great day. Enjoy yourself. Take care of yourself. Make sure you say 10 things that you are thankful for before you go to sleep tonight and every night. It's very important. And I will catch y'all tomorrow on Current Events, y'all. I am Sot L, Seeker of Truth L, Speaker of Truth L. And this has been How to Start a Private Bank. Y'all have a great day. Peace.